want to thank you so much for showing up tonight. And I know I'm going to be in trouble for this because he says, no, I don't want that. But here's Dr. Greg.
Yeah, please, it's not Dr. Greg, just Doctor, please. So I want to thank everyone for coming out today. It's really actually just sitting out there, like having drinks and you know, showing my little inventions and this type of stuff, and just seeing everyone. It's like, I don't remember what that TV show is. It's like you get to see it, like This Is Your Life, I think it was. You know, I get to see like my old neighbors. You know, I get to see like everyone, like Gabe Morando. It's just like these are all these experiences sort of built me up in my life. You know, they got the Coals Farm going snowmobiling, you know, up north. And you've got like, you know. You got Superman over there, / Santa Claus. You know, just hanging out with Chris Harris, like singing songs on the piano. It's like, this is really cool. But I did want to say a special thank you to a few people. That sort of, I think, brought me to this moment where I am today, with getting my dissertation finished. And the first is Dr. Sutherland over here. And if you haven't met him during the drinks beforehand, he is an interesting person. He's a doctor at the Schoolcraft College over here, and he studies beekeeping. And so when I was a young child, and you saw the pictures of me wearing the beekeeper's outfit, that was my first exposure to science, and I was just blown away by that. I remember we'd go every month, and we got to build things with our hands and actually get to learn how things worked. And it wasn't just like something we did, we actually learned about all the backgrounds behind it and all that. So it was really, really interesting. I remember that being a big moment in my life where I got to, you know, understand how things work at a deeper level. So that was really sort of a very impactful thing for me. And actually, he told me just tonight that he actually has my beehives, and I can pick them up. So that's kind of good. And he also told me that the city of Ann Arbor has an ordinance you're allowed to have 2 beehives in the back of your house. So I just checked it out, and I'm going to start back up again. So thank you.
It's ready to be picked up.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. The other person I wanted to thank is also at the same table. It's Ken Bergen, and Ken is he was my scoutmaster at Troop 782 of Livonia, and it's one of, I think it's probably the best scout troop in the entire country, because I remember we going to the National Jamboree and just seeing the size of most scout troops and seeing the size of our scout troops. And even when I was at college, I would ask people like, oh, how many Eagle Scouts do you choose? Like, most people don't even have like 1 or 2, but we'd get like 1 or 2 every court of honor, so it's pretty amazing. And so the reason why I wanted to thank Ken, and not just him, but all the people that worked with him, they were the first people that sort of taught me how to like set a goal and sort of what you need to do in order to achieve that goal. And so for those that are not familiar with the Eagle Scout project, I mean, so when you get an Eagle Scout, you're just a kid, you don't really know what to do. And so it's like the first leadership thing you learn is like you have to, you know, do something and actually get other people to do it with you. There were some pictures in there of the Methodist Children's Home that I did. But I owe a lot to the Boy Scouts for that, because I think, you know, I did a lot of things in my life where we're sort of setting goals, and that was one of the first things I did was through that program, so thank you very much. But I will say, this is not just anecdotal evidence. I went to the neural engineering lab. This is where I got my PhD from, and there was 10 dudes, like 10 grad students like me, in that lab. And I started talking about my Eagle Scout project, and I was thinking about someone's like, oh, you're an Eagle Scout? I'm like, yeah. It turns out 8 of the 10 people in my lab were Eagle Scouts. So it bodes well, you know, we're bringing science to the people. It was kind of cool. And the final person I want to thank, he's not here tonight, but it was Matt O'Donnell. My dad mentioned him earlier. The thing is, when I first applied to Michigan, I didn't get accepted. The admissions board just looked at this guy and was like, you know, partner out in Europe for a while. It was like, you know, some applications coming in. But Matt O'Donnell was obviously so wise, you know, he was just so sharp, you know, at the university that he saw something in me and gave me a chance, which is kind of cool. And I remember when I went into his office and I talked to him, he said, Greg, sometimes you just got to make your own luck. And I was like, oh, I like that. And so I actually do that quite a bit. I mean, when I came to the university, I didn't have any funding, and so I just sat in my professor's office and wouldn't leave until I got a job in this lab. So and there's a number of things, like if you just, I think it's not like you have to bully them, but if you give them enough like logical reasons why they made the mistake, they know they correct it. Yeah. So anyway, I did want to just talk a little bit about the PhD the process, because my dad told me to talk about my dissertation, but I will tell you just the name, the title of the dissertation, a little bit about it. It's not going to be an hour and a half. There's going to be no PowerPoint slides, but my dissertation title was Exploration and Exploitation of Action Selection in the Basal Ganglia and Motor Cortex. Whoa. So I'm going to try to summarize it in just a few sentences. Yeah. So, really what I was looking at was decision making, and how, and like, if you really think about when you make a decision, how do you actually know that you made the decision? You have to make some type of an action, right? You either say yes or no, or you select, you want to change the station. You do something that's a motor action that sort of selects what your decision has decided. And so my research was looking at that moment, and when we actually make that choice, what's happening inside the brain to allow us to select one thing over, a series of alternatives options. And so I did that all with rats, and we were looking at the exact moment of timing of different cells inside the brain. We found that these one little set of cells, which are these fast spiking interneurons, tend to fire only at that moment when you're making that decision. So it's that's my little, we all stand on the shoulders of giants in science, and so there was a lot of research that went up to my spot, and I just pushed it a little bit more, and I showed that this one little cell does it. And hopefully one day that can be used on for other scientists, and that's how it goes. It's a very slow and dry process, but I actually kind of enjoy it.